Okay. So you can hear my voice, right?
Yes, sir.
So today we are going to see some of the games played by Robert Fisher James, popularly known as Bobby Fischer. Have you heard of him?
Yes, sir.
So he is called King of Chess.
Okay, sir.
He was former world champion from United States, and he was a decorated player, very popular. Yeah. So, I mean, we cannot see every match. Just two matches I will show you, just to show how Bobby Fischer used to play, his strength, his choice of play. Okay, so let us see that. So this game was played in 1963. Fischer was white, and Byrne Robert Eugene. He was playing white side. So the game started with d4. Fischer was black side here. Yeah. So Bobby Fischer was playing black side here, and Fischer played knight f6. This, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we are playing. We are learning games from Bobby Fischer, the former world champion. Have you heard of him?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So he was from United States, and he played a very famous match with Boris Spassky. It was it was a very famous match. If you ask any old player, they will talk about this 1972 Boris Spassky versus Robert Fischer James game. So I just selected two games for you to show how Fischer used to play. So in this game, it was not Spassky. Someone called Bernie Robert Egeni. He was playing white. Fischer was playing black. So the game started with the d4, knight f6, white played c4, black played g6, white played g3, and black played c6. Um, Now, this game probably turned into some kind of Slav structure. So Fischer played c6 here, white played bishop g2. This is the idea of c6. This is the idea of playing c6 here. When white played bishop to g2, black wants to close the line with this pawn structure. This is the idea of playing c6 there. Have you understood that?
Yes, sir.
Now, white eliminated the pawn by c takes d5. Black played c takes d5. One more pawn came to the center, but this time it's a broken pawn sign. So white continued the development, knight c3. Black played bishop g7, and white played pawn to e3. Uh,
Sir, why pawn E3?
Pawn to
That's a
e3.
bad move.
Yeah. So I also thought if it, I mean, if he had played first bishop and then pawn, it would be better for him. But for some reasons, white wants to lock the piece here uh, to probably to secure the side. But I like to prefer I like to move the bishop outside. So here he played e3. Black castled, white played knight to e2. This is the reason of playing e3 first. If he wants to play knight f3, he would have played knight f3 in the previous move itself. So the reason of playing e3 first is to play knight to e2. Black continued the development. He played knight c6, white castled, and it was Fischer to Muna. The opening phase is about to complete. He wants he wants to plan. He wants to do some kind of calculation strategy for his side. So when Black was thinking in this move, what he thought is bishop g4 is Not good because of f3, and you need to bring the bishop back. Bishop to f5, it will not target anything. So black,
Sir, he's punching midair.
he's punching the air, not doing anything. So what Fisher thought is, instead of moving the bishop to this diagonal, he wants bishop to move to this diagonal. I'm explaining slowly because you understand the strategy. This is why we are learning from masters. The series is learn from the masters.
Okay, sir.
I'm going slow because I want you to understand the ideas behind the moves. Not just the move, but ideas behind the moves.
Sir, pawn to b3, b6 at least makes the bishop do something.
Yeah. Now white played b3 because that line is closed for the this line is closed for the bishop. So he wants to move the bishop to another diagonal. Now black played bishop to a6. He pinned the knight.
Sir, but bishop b2 is not that useful as it does actually nothing.
Yeah, but he will not directly sacrifice that. You know the thinking of masters, the how they think is if it is forced that they will take, or if they are 100% sure exchanging the pieces will give them the advantage, then only do it. They will not unnecessarily exchange anything. If they find after the exchange it is good for their side, then only they do it. So here white played bishop a3. White is concentrating on development, keeping the pieces at the right places. He's doing the basics right now. Black played rook e8. Now he played rook e8 because there was a pin here and the opening phase is about to get completed. He wants to attack the center. So white played queen d2. Now it was black to play. Black dynamically he attacked the center with e5. The see the problem with the white side is he cannot move the knight because of the pin. So now black is trying to strike the center because if he opens up the pieces, he has good chances. So he has good chances to win the game. So white takes the pawn, black takes the pawn. Now you have given the idea here. Black, see this pawn is weak here, and there are three attackers. There are three attackers, just two defenders. But as of now, even though there are three attackers, two defenders, white will not take that pawn because of one trap in the variation. What is the trap? See this: knight takes d5, knight takes d5, bishop takes d5, and bishop takes e2. If you can't play this bishop takes rook because of queen takes queen. But if you play queen takes bishop, black will play queen takes bishop. So who is at advantage now?
Black, sir.
This is the reason. This is the reason white not interested to take the pawn. You need to see this much depth if you want to become good player. So if you saw someone playing good chess, don't think it's by luck or by just practicing. Learning and practice should go together. Then only you can become good player. So here white played rook f d1. So he moved the rook away from the pin. Now black played knight d3. Immediately black closed the line. Now there are two attackers here, two defenders. So white cannot take the pawn. Now white
And
became,
also the queen and the rook can't take because they'll just lose a important piece.
yeah, that is why what white did was white tried to create some kind of attack on the black side. He played queen c2. The idea is to win two pieces here. But when you are playing against players like Fischer, you should expect some kind of surprises. He's such a good player that you don't know when, what he says, and how he attacks. So he's so good calculating the variation. Chess is all about calculation. It's all about calculation. Who sees more, that person will win the game. Simple funda in chess. Whoever sees more, that person will win the game. So what Fischer saw was knight takes f2, sacrificing the knight, opening up the king place. He sacrificed the knight just not to open it. Here, white is getting too many attacks, and black is actually better after sacrificing the knight. It is not just to open up the pieces you give the free piece. No, not just for that one. Here, what black has perfect compensation for that. So
Sir, why did black play that?
yeah, you will understand now. White took the knight, and black played knight g4 check. Now check is there. The king has to move, and white
Okay,
plays.
sir, that's just a fork.
Now white played king g1, black played knight takes e3. It's a fork.
Now they won a rook or a bishop.
This is the reason why uh, Fischer sacrificed the piece. Now,
And
whenever
the
you,
knight also can't move.
yeah, whenever you play, okay, don't just sacrifice something just because you will open up the king position. You should get something afterwards. So just to, just to open up the king or just to make him not casual, you don't sacrifice it. You should see something compensation after that. So here, white played queen d2 in order to in order to save the queen. Now, black eliminated the important piece on the white side. The king's defender, important piece on the black side. Now, I will tell you one thing. We will revisit these matches in the later stages because these matches are gems in chess. Okay, so as of now, I cannot explain you. I mean, as of now, you cannot predict the moves because I have to train you in calculation. Higher level chess, I will ask you some positions of grandmasters like Fischer, Spassky, Botvinnik, Keres, or some other grandmasters like Ali Kane, Capablanca, and I will ask you how you continue from this. But as of now, you're not trained enough to predict the grandmasters' moves or world champions' move. So I'm just showing the games. Later stages, we will revisit the game and you will understand how to calculate. So let us go through the game. Black played king takes g2 and white first attacked the knight. Now, if the knight on c3 is moved, then rook takes knight is coming. So
Sir,
what?
after rook takes knight, knight can't take.
No, this knight is attacked. If the knight is moved away from this place, then rook will take the knight with the check and queen loss. There is a support from the bishop. That is why.
Okay, sir.
Now white took the pawn. Knight takes d4. Okay. This is the reason why black gave up the pawn. Bishop b7 check. Now there are two variations. First we will play the game, then we will see the other variation. The correct move here is king g1, but still it will give advantage to the black side, but the correct move is king g1. In the game, white played king f1 and black played queen d7. The idea is to enter white side with queen h3 check. There is one more problem. See, if the queen comes to h3 check, and if you try to block it, then queen takes queen is there. But for queen h3 check, if the king goes here, then bishop takes knight check, queen takes, then queen g2 mate with the support of bishop. So looking at this, white played queen f2. The idea is that if black gives check, white will play king here. If bishop takes knight, white will not take with the queen, because if he takes with the queen, queen
He will
g2,
take with the rook.
he will take with the rook. So this is the idea of playing queen f2, but Fischer sees more into the position. He'll see even more deep in the position. So he gave a check as expected. White played king g1. Now, instead of playing bishop takes knight, what Fischer played was rook e1 check. Now, queen cannot take the rook because it's mate
Yes, sir.
with the support of bishop. That's why white took rook takes rook and black played bishop takes d4, pinning the queen.
Now the queen can't take.
So if the queen takes, then queen g2 mate. That is what happened in the game. But even if you don't move the queen, suppose you play rook d1, then also it's mate. Queen cannot take the queen because there is a pin. But in the game, he took the bishop and got checkmated. He got checkmated by Fischer. I told you there is one more variation here. That is, uh, where is that? Huh. The in the game, white played king f1, king g1, king f1. But the correct move is king g1. Let's see few moves here. What will happen if white plays king g1? Then Fischer has this plan. Bishop takes d4 check. If white takes the bishop, then it's deflection. You have to deflect the mine piece and get the advantage. Here the mine piece is a rook because the rook is supporting the queen. Deflect the rook, you will
Sir,
get the queen.
sir, sir, rook to e1.
Rook e1 check. So if rook takes rook, then queen
Queen
takes
take
queen.
queen.
If white plays king f2, then queen takes d4 check. So this is forced now. Then rook takes rook. It's win for the black side because
Sir, because of double rook.
double rook versus single rook. Have
Sir,
you
the two knights, two minor pieces are also like 6 points.
see for white rook, black has rook. For white bishop, black has bishop. But for white knight, black has rook. So obviously, rook is stronger than knight. That's why black has advantage. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
So is Fischer strong?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So this is about first match.